River State and her peace, build her and take her to greater heights. It is a task we must accomplish. You can watch Rstv News live on YouTube at Rstv Online and Facebook at Rstv CH22 Online. Subscribe and click the notification bell for updates on our live feeds. This is the World News, and my name is Obubele Barapaka. Thanks for joining me. River State Governor Siminala Ifubara has urged the public to reflect on the kind of lives they lead and make amends if it will not open doors of opportunities for their wards and others closely related to them. Governor Ifubara gave the advice at the funeral service in honor of his late mother-in-law, Mrs. Adeline Ndalo Jaja, who died at the age of 87. Tammo Barabi Ibulubo has a report that will be brought to you in our subsequent bulletin. River State Deputy Governor Professor Ngozi Mma-Odo has expressed gratitude to Governor Siminala Ifubara for being dynamic and focused in governance. Professor Odo stated this at the flag-off of the free ear care and screening outreach organized by the River State University Teaching Hospital in collaboration with the River State chapter of the Otorhinolaryngological Society of Nigeria, also called OLSEN, at the Ear, Nose and Throat Surgery Clinic in Port Harcourt to commemorate the 2024 World Hearing Day on Friday, 15 March. Namdi Olubini takes it from here. The story will be brought to you as we keep with the bulletin. As part of measures to ensure effective implementation and utilization of the Petroleum Industry Act's 3% Communities Development Trust Fund, the Host Communities Project Management and Advisory Council Limited has engaged with Host Communities Development Board of Trustees and Settlers in River State. The outcome will be told you by Justice Ihomo.
The Host Communities Development Trust Fund is established in the PIA for the development of communities situated or close to the area of operation of settlers or oil licensees, and any other community as a settler might determine. The settler is required to incorporate a host community development trust in the community where they carry out petroleum operations and appoint a board of trustees as well as members of each committee in the said trust, failure of which a settler's license or lease can be revoked. The settler is also required to undertake a need assessment which shall metamorphose into a community development plan and determine projects to be undertaken by the trust. Trust fund is established by the constitution of each host community development trust, and the settlers are required to make an annual contribution to the applicable community, 3% of its actual operating expenditure of the preceding year in the upstream petroleum operation affecting the community. The Act also protects petroleum operations and activities in host communities, providing that where there is any vandalism, sabotage, or civil unrest which causes damage to any petroleum or designated facilities or disrupt petroleum activities in host communities, such community will forfeit its settlement to the extent of the cost to repair the damage or the damage that may have occurred as a result of such disruption. It is in line with these provisions that the meeting was organized in conjunction with Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission to sensitize stakeholders on how the PIA will bring about development to the host communities. The President, Host Communities, Dr. Benjamin Tamara Ebi, speaks further on the essence of the engagement.
The reason of organizing this program is for inclusive participation of host communities. 2. Judicious use of the PIA 3% fund that are accruing to our communities. 3. The non-implementation of the 3% that have delayed for over 2 and
Dr. Benjamin Tamara Ebi speaks further on the essence of the engagement.
The reason of organizing this program is for inclusive participation of host communities. 2. Judicious use of the PIA 3% fund that are accruing to our communities. 3. The implementation of the 3% that have delayed for over 2.5 years. 4, communities are crying that funds are now in their accounts, but they cannot touch those funds for the past 6 months. Now, these are the facts. We have these engagements to know from the oil companies what is the problem, to know from the communities why it have delayed up to now.
The representative of the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, Mr. Success Ipe, also speaks on what the Commission is doing to ensure effective implementation of the provisions of the PIA.
We talked about the number of the HCDTs that have been incorporated. We talked about those that have been approved by the CAC, the number of accounts that have been created, and of course those that have also been funded.
Several presentations were made at the event, including challenges of implementing the Host Communities Development Trust Fund. Some of the participants spoke on the benefits of the engagement and other measures that will increase the level of engagement.
There's a move to put energy in the PIA. The news story is that we are being sensed up to face the PIA, how it should be faced.
We are looking forward to getting a better result because there are certain things that they also have not addressed. The settlers who should have even been here, there is no single settler here, which has almost defeated the engagement process.
Justice Ihuo, Rstv News.
Now, I told you earlier that the River State Deputy Governor, Professor Ngozi Mahodo, has expressed gratitude to Governor Siminala Ifubara for being dynamic and focused in governance. The professor stated this at the flag-off of the free ear care and screening outreach organized by the River State University Teaching Hospital in collaboration with the River State chapter of the Otorhinolaryngological Society of Nigeria, Olsen, at the Ear, Nose and Throat Surgery Clinic in Port Harcourt to commemorate this year's World Hearing Day. Namdulimi takes it from here.
This is Rstv World News. We bring you world-class news, accurate, first-hand, entertaining, balanced analysis. Rstv, Channel 22 Port Harcourt. Rstv World News. We bring you world-class news, accurate, first-hand, entertaining, balanced analysis. Rstv, Channel 22 Port Harcourt.
Apologies there, we could not bring you the film report of that story. Going ahead now, newly admitted students of the Ignatius Ajuri University of Education for the 2023-24 academic session have received a charge to be studious and obey the rules and regulations of the institution. Acting Vice Chancellor of the University, Professor Okechukwu Onuchukwu, gave the charge at the 15th matriculation ceremony on the main campus at Rumo Lumini in Port Harcourt. Gosbanele reports that 7,339 students were distributed to various faculties of the institution.
Declaring the event open, Professor Onuchukwu explained the importance of education to individuals and society while urging students to be hardworking and become good ambassadors of the institution to enable them put smiles on the faces of their parents. The university don, however, advised them to toe the path of academic greatness and contribute meaningfully for the progress of the country, adding that association is right, but should be the one that will guide them come out in flying colors such as group studies. Professor Onuchukwu charged the students to take their studies seriously, be creative and innovative to achieve success in life, and shun examination malpractice, courtesy, indecent dressing, and other related offenses or face penalty. The acting vice-chancellor revealed that students who could not meet up with the institution's academic grade will be wafted out of the school, while advising parents and guardians to promptly pay the fees of their children and worse, monitor their academic performances, and assist the institution achieve its desired objectives.
Total number of matriculants today is 7,338, and we have a total of 54 programs in this university, out of which 47 are fully accredited, and then the other remaining 7 have been resource verified. So one of the first charge I give to them is to take their studies seriously and ensure that they don't join secret cult. And I also told them that they need to obey the university rule. We have handed over to them the university academic statement and rules and regulation of the university. After the first year, your result will be computed. If you don't have a minimum of 1.5, you'll be placed under probation. And that probation, you can even change departments within the faculties you are to see where you'll be comfortable. But after the second year, if you're still below the CGPA of 1.5, you are asked to withdraw from the program.
The institution has faculties of agriculture, education, humanities, management sciences, social sciences, natural and applied sciences, as well as vocational and technical education. Students and others interviewed expressed joy.
I assure my parents that I will be a great child, I will pass my examination, get a good grade in this school.
I feel happy, I feel blessed, and I'm praying God should keep me welding and keep me strong.
I'll be a good example to other students. So me, coming from my background, I'm a decent child, so I'll be a very good child.
The VC has spoken well. As a parent, you have to pay your child's school fee.
Of the Institute for Distance Learning. Well, our mode of learning is different because it is basically online. To make it easy for everybody to be part of it, in the university portal, our link is there. We have an office as you come into the main gate. The Institute for Distance Learning is to the left by the security gate.
God's Power Anele, Rstv News.
And now to national matters. President Bola Tinubu has alleged that smugglers and beneficiaries of the old petrol subsidy were beginning to fight back, but vowed that his administration would not abuse the trust Nigerians reposed in him. The president, during a meeting with a forum of state chairmen of the All Progressives Congress at the State House in Abuja, said that Nigeria would prevail against the agents of destabilization allegedly working to sabotage efforts at repositioning the economy. The president said his administration is deploying resources to critical sectors and areas with significant impact on the welfare of Nigerians, describing the nation's treasury as sacrosanct. He assured Nigerians of better living conditions in the nearest future. Again, President Bola Tinubu has said his administration is deploying resources to critical sectors to significantly impact on the welfare of Nigerians. A statement by the president's spokesman, Ajuri Ngelale, said President Tinubu emphasized that the government would not allow the abuse of the nation's treasury. He made this known at a meeting with a forum of state chairmen of the All Progressives Congress, led by its national chairman, Dr. Abdullahi Ganduje, at the State House in Abuja. The president assured that the government is working round the clock to improve the living conditions of all Nigerians and called on leaders at the grassroots to encourage citizens to get their national identification number for planning, structured interventions, and full integration into government's relief programs. You're watching news coming from the studios of River State Television. Do you love and care about River State and her peace? Let's build and take her to greater heights. It is a task we must accomplish. Watch Rstv News live on YouTube at Rstv Online and Facebook at Rstv CH22 Online. You can subscribe and click the notification bell for updates on our live feeds. Coming up, fast food aid shipment reach shores of Gaza. And in sports, Flying Eagles to return home from ongoing African Games after defeats of 3-0 or 3-2 by Senegal. The details coming in a jiffy. Stay with us.
Hello, my bro. Man, the road is so heavy here. And there's so much traffic. I think we should postpone, huh?
Not a chance. Aisha.
We don't quit, guys. I'll be there.
Done. 2 files received.
I'm on my way. Take first right in 50 meters and you're there.
Copy that. Aisha, where are you?
Guess where?
2 minutes, 2 minutes, move! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Runway X.
The future of fashion showcasing.
Very impressive. How did you pull that off?
With Nigeria's top tech talents.
And Glow.
Power your relentless ambition with ultra-high-speed data. Glow with pride.
This is Rstv World News. We bring you world-class news, accurate, first-hand, entertaining, balanced analysis. Rstv, Channel 22 Port Harcourt.
Rivers State Deputy Governor Professor Ngozi Odo has expressed gratitude to Governor Siminala Ifubara for being dynamic and focused. Professor Odo said this at the flag-off of the free ear care and screening outreach organized by the Rivers State University Teaching Hospital in collaboration with the Rivers State chapter of the Otorhinolaryngological Society of Nigeria, Olsen, at the Ear, Nose and Throat Surgery Clinic in Port Harcourt to commemorate this year's World Hearing Day that fell on Friday, 15 March. Namdi Olimini has a report.
Professor Odo rightly acknowledged that the World Hearing Day has not been celebrated in this dimension before, where 100 patients are given all-expense treatment from consultation to screening. The Deputy Governor expressed the need to appreciate the Governor in order to encourage him to render more services that impact on the people, because what you do directly to people lingers on for the rest of their lives.
I want to thank the Governor of Rivers State, my boss, His Excellency Sir Siminala Ifubara, GSS ROS, for his dynamism and focus. We have over 100 patients who are here to have free ear screening. Ordinarily, they would have paid quite some money for consultation, for their cards, and for everything. The dad is being saved. And that's the kind of man we have as a governor. He does things that impact on people. And when they leave, they'll remember that he touched their lives in many more ways than one.
On her part, the State Commissioner for Health, Dr. Adeze Ore, while eulogizing the contributions of late Dr. Chimdi Afoloka Odo, a foremost ENT surgeon, said the theme for this year's World Hearing Day, changing mindset, let's make hearing care a reality for all, perfectly keys into Governor Fubara's vision of sound health for all in Rivers State, while commending the State University Teaching Hospital, the State Chapter of Olsen and the Chimdi Odo Foundations for making the grand work for the fulfillment of the policy by Governor Fubara during the opening of the facility as an annex to the Rivers State University Teaching Hospital. In his remarks, the acting chief medical director of the Rivers State University Teaching Hospital, Professor Chizindo Aleko, said Governor Fubara, on assumption of office, ensured the completion, further equipping and opening of the ultra-modern facility where the dental, maxillofacial, ophthalmology and ENT services are rendered to Rivers people, noting that since the opening of the facility, the patronage by patients has increased by 400%. Also, the state coordinator of Olsen, Dr. Ure Oparado, said hearing loss is a major public health issue, globally impacting over 1.5 billion people, according to the World Health Organization, and noted that in Nigeria alone, a large number of people suffer from preventive hearing loss due to lack of health education and proper ear care services. Nnamdi Olimini, Rstv News.
Main One, a digital infrastructure service provider, has declared a force majeure and explained steps taken to restore internet connection to service providers. Main One said in a statement on its website that it became necessary to declare a force majeure subsequent to cable testing of its cable system. It said that data from the preliminary assessment of the cable system indicated some underwater activity was the likely cause of disruptions to the system. The main One said commercial contracts typically included such a force majeure clause, which enabled service providers to suspend contractual obligations for the duration of such disruptions. The unforeseen circumstances may be natural disasters, governmental or societal actions like war, invasion, civil unrest, labor strikes, or infrastructure failures, transportation, and/or energy. According to the report, telecommunications companies and banks in Nigeria were on Thursday hit by an internet outage as a result of damage to international undersea cables supplying them connectivity. The Nigerian Communications Commission has said the damage affected major undersea cables near Abidjan in Côte d'Ivoire, Senegal, with an attendant disruption in Portugal, and is causing downtime across Western Southern African countries. Now, the Central Bank of Nigeria has directed banks to strictly comply with recent foreign exchange policy reforms. Part of the policy was aimed to restricting banks from using the foreign exchange gains to pay dividends to stakeholders. In a letter signed by the Acting Director, Banking Supervision, Dr. Adetona Adedeji, the Central Bank reiterated that banks are required to exercise utmost prudence and set aside foreign currency revaluation gains as a counter-cyclical buffer to cushion any adverse movements in the forex rate. Now to foreign matters, the first maritime humanitarian aid shipment to Gaza has been unloaded onto the shore. The U.S. charity behind the mission, World Central Kitchen, is carrying out the mission in cooperation with United Arab Emirates. The shipment contained 200 tons of food desperately needed for
What
Gaza.
are the people in Gaza who are at risk of famine? These aid trucks and this passage into the war zone are a lifeline, albeit an imperfect one.
What we're seeing is aid going into Gaza by the truckload. But what we're not always seeing is it getting to the people who need it fast enough or getting into the right hands at all.
They cannot collect and distribute.
But aren't aid groups getting shot at over there? Is it fair to put that burden on them?
We acknowledge that there are challenges, but mostly they are distributing for the last 2.5 weeks without any violence.
Additional aid is on its way by sea for the first time in this war. More than 100 tons from Europe arriving.
Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni has announced she will be in Cairo on Sunday to sign an agreement between Europe and Egypt for cooperation and development similar to a deal made by Italy with
Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni says she will be in Cairo on Sunday to sign an agreement between Europe and Egypt for cooperation and development similar to a deal made by Italy with Tunisia in 2023. I will be in Egypt together with the President of the European Commission, Ursula von der Leyen, and a few other prime ministers. There is an initiative that is similar to the one that we have carried out in Tunisia. So, a memorandum of understanding, which we are also doing in Egypt, and at the same time, there is a job of bilateral cooperation. This would be formalized during the day on Sunday. This is related to the Piano Mattei, Meloni's Mattei plan for cooperation and development with African nations.
Shops and schools have been closed in the Russian city of Belgorod after bombardments. The authorities there have blamed on Ukraine. Belgorod Governor Vyacheslav Gladkov said 2 people were killed as voting continues in a general election Vladimir Putin is certain to win. Gladkov said air defense systems downed 8 Ukrainian vessels. The governor said students in Belgorod, which is near the border with Ukraine, will not attend school on Monday and Tuesday, while shopping centers in Belgorod will be closed on Sunday and Monday. Belgorod has been the target of several retaliatory strikes from Kyiv. Putin accused Ukraine of trying to disrupt his bid for another 6-year term. And now sports news. The Nigeria Premier League NPFL has announced a new date for the match day 26 tie involving Rivers United and Heartland Overway. A game initially fixed for today at the Adokia Miasimaka Stadium will now hold tomorrow Sunday at the same venue. The Pride of Rivers suffered a 3-2 defeat in their last match against Lobby Stars in Lafayette and are 1 point above relegation zone. So talking football, the Flying Eagles of Nigeria have been knocked out of the men's football events of the 2023 African Games in Ghana after a 3-2 defeat by Senegal. According to reports, the Flying Eagles took an early lead in the second minute through Charles Agada in the match played at the Accra Sports Stadium on Friday. Idrissa Traore, however, equalized for Senegal in the 31st minute when his low shot beat the time in the encounter. Chibuzo Iziogo put Nigeria back into the game when he equalized to make it 2-2 through a brilliant free kick, but Pape Diop converted from the spot for the winning goal to send Senegal to the semi-finals. The Flying Eagles ended their campaign with only one victory against South Sudan, losing their opening match 2-1 to Uganda. After the match, head coach Boso expressed disappointment at the result and blamed poor preparation for the performance. Nigeria won the men's football silver at the last African Games in Rabat, Morocco in 2019 after a 2-0 loss to Burkina Faso in the final. And now, before we close the news, the remains of late Virginia Irebu, mother of a director in the Current Affairs Division of the Rstv Television, Ibiene Ogundo, has been laid to rest at the Port Harcourt Cemetery. Non-Dolimina reports that the funeral ceremony was conducted by the Deeper Life Bible Church here in Port Harcourt.
In a message at the funeral service on the topic, The Inevitable Journey to Eternity, Pastor Frank Mba of the Deeper Life Bible Church said everyone is a stranger and sojourner, and anytime, any moment, they will depart the earth. The preacher explained that there are two paths to the journey, a peaceful life in heaven and a life of agony and pain in hell, and advised the congregation to prepare to be in heaven instead of hell. According to him, late Virginia Irebu was a devout Christian who spent her life in the service of God and humanity, and urged her family to keep her legacies of humility, honesty, and selflessness.
It's an inevitable journey, a journey that every one of us must make. It's not whether you like it or not. It is a must. It's a must. You have to embark on that journey one day. It's a must for you. It's a must for me. No matter whether I want it or not, or whether I like it or not, nothing can hinder that.
In her biography, late Virginia Irebu was described as a teacher above teachers, a nutritionist, disciplinarian, intelligent, fearless, and hardworking. She would be dearly missed for her care, love, and affection, especially now that she's mostly needed. Daughter of the deceased, Ibiene, and her husband, Roland Ogundo, said the exit of their mother has created a vacuum difficult to fill, describing her as loving, legendary, strict personality, and versatile, and pray God to grant her eternal rest.
She was very strong, and she was a disciplinarian. She was full of life. It's unfortunate that life didn't allow her to shine as much as we would have wanted her to shine. But I'm grateful. She was there for us.
She was very intelligent. She's very good in spoken and written English woman. She does everything intentional. So I learned a lot from her actually. She brought her children very well.
Chairman Burial Organizing Committee Dr. Hannah Aman and the chairperson River State Television Women Association Elizabeth Amadi and other guests also extolled the virtues of late Virginia Irebu and thanked everyone who came to mourn with the family.
Thank God for the fact that her mother was a Christian. So I believe that the death is not a loss. I use this opportunity to call on her children and relatives to also serve God the way their mother did.
Right from the announcement of this burial, you see from everything concerning the burial, everybody has been supportive. Rstv as a whole, the staff, and we also have the retirees in their numbers. That is not something that you see every day in burials.
The interment was followed by reception, where guests were treated to comedy, music, and sumptuous meals. Nnamdi Olimini, Rstv News.
Love and care about River State and her peace. Let's build and take her to greater heights. It is a task we must accomplish. Watch Rstv News live on YouTube at Rstv Online and Facebook at RSTVCH22 Online. Subscribe and click the notification bell for updates on our live feeds. Now to end the news, another look at some of the major reports. Residents and the people of River State can now access free ear, nose, and throat screening at the River State University Teaching Hospital Surgery Clinic in Port Harcourt, courtesy of the River State government and in commemoration of the World Hearing Day for this year. President Bola Tinubu has alleged that smugglers and beneficiaries of the old petrol subsidy were beginning to fight back, but vowed that his administration would not abuse the trust Nigerians reposed in them. We also brought a report that Main One, a digital infrastructure service provider, has declared a force majeure and explained steps to be taken to restore internet connection to service providers in West Africa and parts of Portugal. That's it. Thanks for watching. Good night.